Welcome to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, coming at you live and direct from Norfolk, Virginia with my co-host, Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
It's the Guru in the building once again. It is a special Saturday podcast that we are producing today. As I was on vacation, the Guru was busy, but no matter what happened, we want to make sure that y'all get this information today. Love it. We got all types of stuff to talk about. It's been a great day in sports, or a great week in sports, especially for this guy because his team doing the thing. So we'll talk about that. We got some boxing. We got some NFL information and news and whatnot. A bunch of people retiring, if that makes sense. And then we got some NBA as well, but we're going to start with NBA. So let's do it. First and foremost, the finals is set, of course. The Celtics and the Warriors are going head-to-head. Of course, the Warriors have the home court advantage. But not no more because Game 1 was a great one, I believe. The Celtics came back in the fourth quarter to beat the Warriors. They was down 12, and they ended up winning by, I think, 12. Guru, what you think of that game?
I seen a few things that Steve Kirk kind of did that was questionable to me.
Okay.
But it was overall a great game, in my opinion. Two teams that was kind of built the same way.
Yeah.
Through the draft, so I kind of like to see that coming back to the game of basketball. You know, it's no team in the finals that kind of was put together.
Right.
With this superstar and that superstar.
Bought.
Right, they didn't buy these two teams, man. So that's one good thing. You see, I got my Boston green on. Shout out to my man, G Stats Park Ave. Give me this Boston, where it's really Norfolk State green and gold. But, you know, right now I'm going to say it's Boston green. To Golden State tie the series up tomorrow, then I'm going to need some blue and yellow.
I'll tell you one thing. First and foremost, the first quarter was electric. My man Steph was crazy. It was one of those things that every time he shot the ball, you just knew the ball was going in. And it was all splash every time. Like, you rarely see the ball hit the rim. It was extremely impressive. And then second quarter hit. What you think of that second quarter?
I think they kept him on the bench too long. Me personally, if my shooter is shooting like that,
yeah,
I'm not taking him out the game until he show me every sign that he's tired. Like, he got to damn near pass out. He got to miss at least 3 shots in a row, like, before I sit him down, because you destroy a man's rhythm. And I understand everything about player rotations and minutes and things of that nature, but this is the finals. Man got all some of the rest. Right.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because, you know, he lost his rhythm. He ended up, like, ending the second.
He didn't score a bucket in the second quarter.
Right. The second quarter, he didn't score a bucket, and he got 3 fouls. So he ended up in foul trouble by the time the halftime hit. And then the third quarter came, and Golden State was playing Golden State ball. You know,
Golden State one of the strongest third quarter teams in the league,
and you know,
for years.
That's awesome, but it don't matter, and it didn't matter to the Celtics.
Yeah, this is a 4-quarter game.
The fourth quarter was crazy. I think the Celtics had 41 points, and the Warriors had like
16. I want to say
16.
I think it was 41-16 to be exact.
I don't see that ever happening again that way. But why? What brought the energy down for the Warriors?
I hate to say it because you don't want to put that thought in the sports, but you know I'm really a sports gambler, so that's what I do. It looked like Steve Kirk got a call from that black phone in Vegas and say, "Hey man, look, you can win the series, but it's a lot of money riding on this game. We need you to take a dive." Because if you look at him, he showed no emotion on the sideline. Like, He wasn't trying. The people went on 11-0 run in the fourth quarter, and he didn't even try to stop it.
So do you think it was Boston more so from a defensive side of the ball, or was it just the Warriors couldn't get nothing done?
A combination of both. Matchups, the coach for Boston, he did a hell of a move that kind of played into the favor of Boston when he set Marcus Smart for as long as he did in the fourth quarter and let them guys, Derek White and the gang, ride that momentum.
Right.
And that's what I was telling B. Trot when he was here. Sometimes you got to sit the defensive player of the year when you down 12 to catch a rhythm. He took a chance and set his defensive player of the year. And Marcus Smart was playing pretty good ball offensively that game. He was knocking down his shot. So, but he seen a rhythm that lineup had, and they cut into that lead and eventually took the lead, and they just couldn't miss.
And it's crazy because they had a bunch of unsung heroes because Jason Tatum didn't even show up. He played a ton of time, but he finished with 12. And you would never think that of the star of your team finishing 12, but the unsung heroes who had games of their life. And at this point, the way it looked like they gonna have to have games of their life for them to win the series. It ain't that they can't win, but Al HOFer ain't gonna have that record-breaking shooting for him game again. He's not gonna go 6 for 8 from three-pointer the way he was. I can't see that happening again. That's the most he ever made in his entire career. White is a shooter. He can shoot, but I don't feel like he gonna have as much impact, and I don't feel like Golden State is gonna collapse as much as they like.
And that's what it was. They collapsed, and you could see the body language of the team. They realized that they collapsed, and they let a game that they probably should have won get away.
They probably should have won by double digits.
Right.
And I noticed that, Boston went on like a 17-0 run, and there was no pause in the action. They just kept going. And at one point, I think they hit like 4-3 straight.
Right.
And nothing changed. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And no adjustments made on the side of Golden State.
I noticed that from a defensive perspective, Boston locked Klay Thompson up. Klay Thompson couldn't get a shot off. They're passing the ball, and he'll act like he about to go for it, but he just couldn't get it off because somebody was in his face the entire time.
But I think he passed up on some shots that he normally would take.
That's the other thing. They won't shoot him. And I feel like when a team full of shooters stop shooting,
they don't stand a chance.
It's no way. And you started seeing the liability that they have in Draymond Green because the more Draymond Green was getting to the basket, he was getting fouled, and he was missing the hell out of free throws. Even the psychological side of it, where sometimes you got to see the ball go in the basket, and they couldn't see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once they got stuck, I think Steve Kerr was like, you know what, that's it.
But then he took Iguodala out. Iguodala ain't play a whole lot of minutes. He was hitting his shot. Otto Porter Jr. was giving him buckets, and he was working, and he took him out. I think it's one of them cases where he need to play Otto Porter with Draymond, Klay, Steph, and Wiggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Boston is not a big team where you gotta play.
Robert Williams was getting them overhead dunks because they were just throwing the ball up. Right. I want nobody there to kind of do anything about it. But I noticed that in the beginning of the fourth, I think a big part of Golden State's rhythm falling apart is because of Andre Iguodala. Because Andre Iguodala came in the game, and he instantly had like 3 turnovers. Right. You know what I'm saying? And those 3 turnovers, you could tell had you could see the body language on Klay Thompson after one of the turnovers, and Jaylen Brown ended up getting a clean dunk. And he was just like, yo, why? You know what I'm saying? It was weird, but it was just like the one thing you can't do is lose your rhythm and give them a rhythm. And they lost their rhythm, and Boston took clean co-advantage. I don't blame them. ESPN before the game started had Boston an 86% favorite
to win the series.
To win the series. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever, but
they got a team to do it. They got a team to do it.
That's crazy to be a team playing a team with 123 games of experience over that the Celtics having 0 games experience. It's like, bro, it's no way it should. And you could see the difference in the teams first 3 quarters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think this was a situation where Golden State took that and it came back to bite them in the ass because it looked like they was toying with them. Like, we can beat you if we want to beat you.
Yep.
But when Boston didn't lay down and they responded, and the way they responded and how quick they responded and the manner in which they responded, like you say, with 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer, that was unexpected and it caught them off guard. It's kind of like in a boxing match where you just whooping your opponent and somehow he finds life and lands a haymaker.
Yep. And then you can't
get
recover. Your equilibrium right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was one of those situations, man.
That's a tough pill to swallow, man. There was so many things that you could see in the game that stood out that would make you feel like, I can't ever see this going this way again. But number one, Boston can't have the type of first half and third quarter that they had,
right? And
think that it's gonna have the same result. That's just not gonna happen. If Golden State get in this position again, they're gonna put their foot on their neck. I can't see Golden State scoring 16 points in the fourth.
I couldn't see it then.
I mean, at the end of the day, I couldn't see Chris Paul collapsing the way he did again because he did it before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a difference. You're supposed to learn lessons, right?
Right.
And if you've been collapsing all this time, you should be making it a point not to collapse this go round, especially being on the stage that he was on. So I don't know. You never know. All I know is Game 2 is Sunday. Tune in because I am
tomorrow.
And guess who excited about it? I am. I ain't no fan of either team, but I'm excited to see how Steph show up. Man, Steph threw a pass to Clay in the corner and just ran down the other side of the court. Like, I don't know whether that's confidence or arrogance.
Combination of both.
Because that's just crazy. Like, I'd be pissed if I was on the other team and you just gonna pass on the ball and run. Like, ain't nothing we can do about it. I would have clipped that fool.
I think next game, though, they'll be a little more focused and take it a little more serious from quarter 1 through 4.
Absolutely.
And if they get their foot on their neck like they did, they won't let it off. I think if they jump up to a double-digit lead this time, they're going to kind of like power drive Boston into the ground.
So let me ask you this, because I think we had this conversation before, but I'm just going to ask again. Steph Curry, you think he could get MVP?
Yeah, if he averaged 34 points a game and they win the series, of course he's going to get MVP. I think he played like an MVP for the whole first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it
just
just kind of went out. I think he came out with a point to prove. That's how he was shooting.
Yeah.
Like, I got a point to prove. Everybody keep talking about I haven't won the MVP, so I'm going to come out and show you that, yeah, I'm going to take it this year. But they got to win the title to get the MVP.
And then Boston they was just leaving him open. It was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, bruh, how y'all just going to leave the man open?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can lose anybody on the floor but Steph Curry.
Exactly. That's the one person you should make it a point not to lose no matter what. But it was like, bruh, they want that man to hit 100. And he probably could have did it had he had 4 quarters like the first one. Or 3 more quarters like the first one. All right, so other NBA news. LeBron James is officially a billionaire.
Shout out King James, man.
Listen, I feel like that is that's savage. Now, like, can you imagine playing on a team with a player who make more money than everybody on the team combined? It's like, bruh, like, you're a billionaire how do you address that? I ain't gonna go to the club with LeBron. I ain't gonna go hang out with LeBron when he just buying whatever, and I'm like,
You gotta check the budget.
literally,
He don't got no budget.
he ain't got no budget, but I got a budget, and I gotta try to keep up.
You know what that mean, King James? Everything on you.
Everything on you. He he gonna be responsible for whether the Lakers are successful or whether they fail. And now he's a billionaire, and they put all his business out there. He's gonna be on the spotlight is gonna be on him way more than it was last year.
That's huge news, though, man.
Absolutely,
Definitely huge news.
that's what we call black excellence. You know?
Absolutely.
It's progress, and he's the only player to ever do it. You know, I heard him mention Jordan and whatnot, but I don't believe Jordan was on billionaire status as a player.
No other player was while playing.
Right. So my man is a billionaire while playing.
Still got contracts to live out.
It's crazy because should he play for free now? Like it's like you can save some cap space now. Get you some top tier talent.
Man still want max money.
That is crazy. You want max money, he a billionaire. I don't know whether that's greedy or smart as hell. Whew. All right, let's take a break, and we're gonna come out. We got some sad NFL news, and for a lot of people, we got some good NFL news. So, we'll be back. BetMoorSports. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, chilling with my co-host, Stephen Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
You better believe it. And in NFL news, this week has been a substantial week of retirements. San Francisco signed Frank Gore to a one-day contract so that he can retire as a 49er, which is, definitely a good thing, in my opinion. Alex Mack from San Francisco retired. He was probably the leader of our offensive line next to Trent. And then you also had Fitzmagic. He retired. The journeyman, probably one of the most
Fitz hung it up.
Yeah, he's one of the most valuable journeymen I've seen. And then Stephon Tuitt, defensive end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He retired after taking a year off. Speaking of retirement, we got one of the best defensive players in the NFL.
One of?
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of.
He might be the arguably best.
Arguably, exactly. As long as it's arguably, I see it as one.
I mean, you can argue, but you're going to be wrong.
But he's indicating that he okay with retiring. What you think the league will be like right now if he retired this soon?
I think the league would be just fine. It'll be the Rams that'll suffer if Aaron Donald decides to hang it up.
So let's say he do decide to hang it up. What next for the Rams on defense?
I think they could be solid because they're good offensively, but that would be a major blow to the defensive front.
Absolutely.
He is virtually unblockable.
I'm gonna tell you how major it would be. It would be equivalent to San Francisco losing Nick Bosa for the season.
Did you just compare Nick Bosa to
Absolutely.
Aaron Donald?
Absolutely.
And you were serious?
With a serious face.
Why? Why was you serious?
Nick Bosa been in more Super Bowls than Aaron Donald, right?
He ain't won more.
Okay. Aaron Donald won a Super Bowl last year.
How many Bosa won?
Don't matter. All I'm saying is, Bosa young. Bosa only been in the league three seasons.
Aaron Donald is relatively young himself.
But he's much, much older than Bosa.
I disagree. He's much, much better than Bosa.
I don't know about that. Bosa have shown the greatness of his capabilities, and that's not me speaking as a San Francisco
It's you
fan.
clearly speaking as a 49er fan.
One thing that,
And I like Bosa, but you just mentioned Bosa. But you just mentioned Bosa and Aaron Donald in the same sentence, as if you would rather have Bosa over Aaron Donald.
I would.
You had that drink package on that cruise, didn't you?
I'm telling you,
You still hung over.
Listen, think about the impact that Bosa has had on his team. The year Bosa got hurt, we was cut. We went to the Super Bowl with Bosa. The next year, Bosa got hurt for the season. We didn't even go to the playoffs. Bosa come back, we in the NFC Championship. All I'm saying is, Bosa's only been in the league for 3 years. Bosa still got growing to do. I would definitely rather have Nick Bosa.
Okay, let me ask you one question.
Do you think Aaron Donald is going to get better than what he is now?
He don't need to.
No. Can he?
Yes, he can, but he doesn't need to. You can always get better. You know that. Everybody can improve on something.
Man, but some people reach their max.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's one of those things where
once you over your peak, he's still in his peak age.
Man, my man is at peace with retiring. That means
that means
somewhere in there he feel like
he feel like he done accomplished everything, and he kind of said prior to going to the NFL that he could see himself playing an 8-year career. He's on year 8, or I guess he's going into year 9 now. But I want to ask you one question. Did you get the drink package on the cruise? And are you still a little hungover, man? Because did you? You can put both of the Bosa brothers together, and they ain't gonna equal Aaron Donald.
No, man. Listen, Aaron Donald is a tough defender, but I haven't seen that much from him where I'm putting him as a GOAT type conversation ish shit. No.
You think it's a defensive tackle out there that was better than Aaron Donald in the history of the NFL?
Yeah, I can't think of it right now because
I can't think of it neither.
That question is on the spot. But if I got time to research,
John Randall was a handful. Warren Sapp was a handful. The Bosa brothers are both handful. J.J. Watt was a handful, but Aaron Donald is like the upper echelon of defensive tackles. It's like the man got damn near DB speed with incredible Hulk strength.
Yeah, but I've seen him stop.
Yeah, with 3 people blocking him.
No.
You ain't seen no one man stand in front of Aaron Donald.
Trent Williams specifically.
Trent who?
The best offensive lineman in the league.
This shit get better and better by the minute.
The best offensive lineman in the league. What? Come on, bro.
Man, this shit get better and better by the minute, man.
What exactly did Aaron Donald do against San Francisco? Let's be specific in that regard. Like they played us 3 times in one year. They beat us one time. It had nothing to do with Aaron Donald.
The most important time.
It had nothing to do with Aaron Donald though. He ain't put no pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo to create those problems for him at all. Matter of fact, they should have lost, but they didn't. Whatever. Then the first 2 games, we just smashed them.
Not when it counted.
What you mean all the games count?
Well, they don't. Not the one that can get you to the bowl. Count a little more than the one that get you to the playoffs.
Listen, it's
when you both made the playoffs.
It's clearly not easy to beat one team 3 times.
No, it's not.
Season.
But we're going to focus strictly on Aaron Donald being the best defensive tackle I've seen.
Okay, I mean, listen.
Would you say Bosa is the best defensive tackle you've seen?
No.
Would you rank him higher than Aaron Donald?
I probably wouldn't.
Okay, then.
But the only reason why I wouldn't is because Aaron Donald's been in the league for 8 years.
Because his body of work is not as he's not played as many games.
That's the difference maker.
That what you gonna lean upon?
What do you mean? What? How do you base this information off of it? Like what do you base the
level of play on the field?
if you gave Nick Bosa a grade on the field, it's an A, just like goddamn Aaron Donald. What do you mean?
He might be a 4.0. Aaron Donald a 4.6.
No, he ain't that far.
5.0.
It ain't that much space in between them. I'll tell you one thing. Aaron Donald can retire.
I know you want him to retire. I wouldn't mind him retiring neither.
If he didn't, I wouldn't care because he don't make a difference to us. Well, I mean, he might now because Alex Mack is gone, but depending on how we replace him. Let me ask you this, just to kind of switch off a little bit. We talked about it earlier. Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill? If you had to pick one to lead your franchise.
Can I sit them both on the bench?
Can
I start with somebody else?
Derrick Henry.
Give me Kirk Cousins, man.
Kirk Cousins. Why Kirk Cousins over Ryan?
Because Kirk Cousins he's a better quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a more accurate quarterback.
He has gunslinger tendencies.
He do.
But I think he just kind of collapsed in the end.
I don't think Kirk Cousins is holding his team back. Let me say that. I don't think they have enough around him.
What more you want around him?
Well, you do got two sides of a football team, right?
Absolutely, but as far as his part, like we can speak in regards to how successful his team is, but let's also speak in regards to how successful his offense is. And when you got a running back like Dalvin Cook, which is top 5 in the league,
he stays hurt, but he's definitely one of the greatest. Florida State guy.
When he's in the game, Kirk Cousins' game don't change. He don't get better. And don't get me wrong, you can say that about Ryan Tannehill.
I've seen Ryan Tannehill lose games, though, for his team.
Right, but that's when he has to shoulder the load.
He got the best running back in the league.
Right, but when that running back is playing, he's pretty efficient.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was playing in the playoffs. And Ryan Tannehill wet the bed.
Was he coming off an injury? Because I think that's when he was coming off the injury, right?
Yes, he was. However, Ryan Tannehill played like a bum.
They forced Ryan Tannehill to play the game.
He's a quarterback.
Right,
That's his job.
But if your system say we are a running team and we got to never rely on the quarterback, even though our whole system is based on the run, of course, what do you expect?
So this what I'm saying. That's the reason why I would take Kirk Cousins over him, because Cousins.
It's the same thing on that side.
But he's not losing games to that degree. Like,
he ain't winning them shits neither.
Ryan Tannehill, right? But sometimes you pay a quarterback not to lose games. He's one of those type of quarterbacks. He's not a quarterback that I would say go out here and win the game for me. Neither one of those guys are that guy that I could say, hey, go out here and win the game. It's only probably a handful of quarterbacks that you could say, go out here on your skill set and win me the game.
Okay.
It's only a handful of those guys, right? So the rest of the guys, we just don't need you to lose the game. And Ryan Tannehill lost the game.
Okay.
You can really place that squarely upon his shoulders. The man threw interception after interception after interception, turnover after turnover, for no apparent reason, other than he's Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, listen. I don't know, man.
Who would you rather have?
I'd probably rather have Kirk Cousins too.
I mean, then what was this?
That's because he got gunslinger tendencies. Ryan Tannehill has yet to show it.
Ryan Tannehill's a scrub.
Yeah, well, guess what? The Titans now got a quarterback that can sling that jank.
And Ryan Tannehill is counting his last days in Tennessee.
He's shook, nervous.
Ryan Tannehill said, "Man, it ain't my job to get that boy up to speed so he can take my job."
Right, exactly. That terrible, boy.
Forget being a good teammate.
Yeah, he gonna get cut before the season up. So, all right, Frank Gore retired, and one of the questions that came out is, Frank Gore is number 3 overall in rushing in NFL history, behind Emmitt Smith and got a brain fart. I know who it is though. Anyway, is Frank Gore a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Based on his body of work, he should be. He should be.
I don't feel like second ballot maybe.
He probably won't make the first ballot, but Frank was solid his whole career.
He has been solid, but
he wasn't never out. Like, I mean, he had some years where he was that guy.
Right.
He
just played a whole bunch of years.
Yeah, he did. Emmitt Smith played a whole bunch of years.
Right, exactly. And that's why Emmitt Smith is at the top with over 18,000 rushing yards. But it don't show the comparison of the years, because then you got in fourth Barry Sanders, who played half of the years that they played. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so if you think about it, like, imagine if Barry Sanders played
22 years.
Right, bro. That'll be game changer. Like, he'll have numbers like Jerry Rice got right now. You know what I'm saying? That separate him from everybody. So it varies, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer nonetheless. I don't think it mattered to me whether it's a first ballot. I don't think that solidifies his career. But if he is, I feel like that's just respect, you know.
So what would you think would be the key factor that will hold him out of being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
The amount of time it took him to reach that milestone. Because he probably had one of the longest careers as a running back behind Emmitt Smith.
Right. But he still finished top 3 all time.
Right, but it's kind of like saying, it's kind of like comparing, let's say, LeBron to Jordan, right? And say, oh, LeBron got more points than everybody, but LeBron played 10 years longer than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the value isn't the same. He could have 1,000 more points than Jordan, but he played 10 years longer, and you know, it's being looked at as if he surpassed Jordan in a way that Jordan couldn't attain something. You know, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, stop him at the 13-year mark like Jordan and see what his numbers at then, and then make a comparison. You know what I'm saying?
So you think if Frank would have won 2 or 3 championships, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Fame?
No question.
Okay. Because that's where I thought you was going to go, the fact that he didn't win a championship.
Well, you know how I feel about winning. Winning is substantial to legacy.
Right.
If you don't win, then, you know, that you have the individual side of your legacy, but, you know, what did you do for your team? What did you do for the game? How did you enhance the level of competitiveness within your team? And, you know, anybody can get stats. Stats is not easy to get, but if you got a person giving you the ball all the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to meet milestones.
Right.
So it's just about what is that doing for your team. If we go 0-10 for 10 seasons in a row, but I got 1,000 yards rushing every season, but don't nobody else got nothing. You know, they give me the ball the whole time. What does that say about me or about my team? Does that make me a Hall of Fame?
It made Barry Sanders one. His teams was trash.
Yeah, you're right. But he attained that in a short period of time.
I agree.
You know,
he's one of the greatest ever.
That stands out. All right, so let's switch gears again. Your Rangers, man. Your Rangers is up 2-0 to the defending Stanley Cup champions.
2-time defending champs.
I'll say that again. To the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions. You think y'all gonna win?
I tried to warn y'all about these New York Rangers, and y'all didn't want to listen. Nobody wanted to listen. Everybody was giving me the Toronto, the Tampa Bay Lightning. I even heard the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington. You said the Washington Capitals.
That was my pick.
You gave me the Washington Capitals, man, and I said, hey, don't sleep on them Rangers. But I'm gonna say this: I think the Rangers are kind of peaking a season early.
Okay.
Right, because we got a team full of 19 to 20-year-olds, man. Like,
yeah,
these boys is young, and I think that's what is really kind of getting them over the hump with Tampa Bay is the fact that these boys just skating a little too fast, and Tampa Bay ain't beat us all year. So when I picked the Rangers, I handicapped the Rangers the first 2 games of the series, and people say I was being biased. But if you know me, you know that I don't bet with my heart, and I would never lead my subscribers down a dark alley with no protection. So if I give you the Rangers, it's simply because these people ain't beat us all year, right? Coming into the series, we had won like 6 or 7 straight home games in Madison Square Garden. We got home ice advantage. So why in the hell would I not think that we could beat a team that we've beaten all season, right? And then in game 1, I think that teams that swept the round before and came into the next series on a 9-day rest playing against a team that went 7 was like 0-7. I mean, like, these are numbers that you got to know when you make a wager.
Right.
If I know that a team is 0-7 in this situation, I know that a team is 0-3 against the team that they're playing, and I know that the team that they're playing is on a 7-game home winning streak in the playoffs. It's kind of
you think the Rangers can sustain?
Yeah, we got a good hockey team. We're not bad. I'm not saying that we're gonna sweep Tampa or Tampa's gonna lay down, or that this series is by far from over. It's nowhere near over. But I think the Rangers got just as good a chance as anybody else playing hockey right now.
Okay. Well, we'll see. That's for damn sure.
You kind of sounded like a hater.
Huh? Nah, listen, I ain't hating on the Rangers. I actually like them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hating. I'm just saying we'll see. You know, again, you got the defending champs on the board. 2-time champs. Right? So, you never know. All I know is, hey, somebody got to win.
Let's go Rangers.
All right, so let's move to MLB. Joe Girardi was fired
by
the Phillies.
And then the Phillies turned right around and won the next game 10-0.
Oh, my gosh. So you think it was his fault that they was shit?
He's a bum, man. The man is garbage as a skipper. I don't know how the hell he keep getting jobs.
Well, I mean, listen, he did pretty damn well for the Yankees.
No, he didn't.
So he didn't win the World Series with the Yankees?
Yeah, man, listen, man. I could have won the World Series with the Yankees. He didn't win as many World Series as we should have won.
Some of these managers ain't win none.
They didn't have the roster that the Yankees got.
I understand.
Or had at that time.
Still got to be managed.
No.
No.
His management skills was as equivalent as you saying Frank Vogel had to coach the Lakers in the bubble to win the championship.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
Didn't. We were stacked. Like we stacked this year. The Yankees are back. If you haven't been watching.
Yeah, absolutely. God damn.
Joe Girardi, man. You had a great career. Hang it up.
Think he done?
Nah, he'll get another job.
Yeah, he probably will.
Get another job.
All right, so let's switch again. You know, last week it was one of the highly anticipated boxing matches in boxing, and that is Gervonta Tank Davis going head to head with Rolando Rolly Romero.
Rolling.
Both of them are power punchers. Both of them are undefeated. Both of them have or was, yeah. Both of them had over a 90% knockout percentage. And it was highly anticipated that somebody was going to get knocked out. It was just about who. And it could have went either way because I feel like in that fight, Romero was doing work. He was doing work. But Gervonta, he showed that it don't matter how much work you do. Champions are champions for a reason. And all it takes is one mistake. And my man made one mistake. What you think of that shit?
Rolly let his mouth get him in a situation that his ass couldn't get him out of.
And he sounded weird as hell.
Yeah, he sounded a little retarded to me.
Sound like a midget. Damn.
Sound a little retarded to me. You know, you don't know what the hell Rolly talking about half the time.
Yeah.
But it seemed like
he was talking big shit though.
He was talking it. He didn't walk it.
He did
and he
not.
fought and to his defense, he fought a good fight. You know, the earlier rounds, he fought a good fight. However, he just kept pressing and pressing and pressing, and he allowed that to be his downfall. Because you can't swing wild at Tank. Nope. You can't bully Tank. You can't, I think Rolly said before the fight that Tank wasn't good fighting off his back, off his heels.
I bet he think otherwise.
Tank showed you, I can fight off my heels. All you got to do is make a mistake.
Yep.
And before the fight, I said that Rolly didn't fight enough fights, in my opinion, to take that fight with Tank. But you have to take the fight because it's a payday. And it's the biggest fight you're going to get right now.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest fight of your career.
So, of course, you're going to take it, but I didn't think he was ready for that wreck.
Yeah.
And it showed. Tank ain't even hit him with all his power, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, he got caught with one shot.
Right. And that was probably the only flush shot Tank landed all fight.
Yeah.
And it put you to sleep.
My man was reaching over the ropes like he was trying to get his mama. It wasn't good. I was watching that shit. I was like, bruh. But I knew it was going to be a good fight. I knew it was going to be a knockout. I knew somebody was going to get knocked out. There was times that Tank looked like that he was, questionable as far as his confidence. You know what I'm saying? But again, like true champions, it's not over till it's over. A fight is 12 rounds for a reason.
Right.
And he showed exactly why that's the case.
And I gave the people Tank with the knockout, and I said that it wouldn't go 9 rounds. It would be under 8 rounds.
Never
I gave y'all free money. I gave you 2 picks for the price of 1.
I'll tell you one thing. The people going in debt right now. You keep giving away all this money. I'm just saying. Sometimes you got to take that money and run with it.
You got to take it and run with it, man. I'll give you the best bets for a reason.
And he don't just give you the bet. He tell you the best way to make it. Take everything you can beg, borrow, and steal.
Yeah, if you don't got it, man, beg for it. If you can't beg for it, borrow it. And if you can't borrow it, steal it. You're going to be able to give it back.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you pay it back. Still didn't pay it back and apologize after. You be all right. Tonight we got a undisputed match for the undisputed championship of the world. That means the winner of this match is going to have every belt in the division. I think Combosas already have majority of them. But I know Devin Haney has one. And from the looks of it, it's going to be a pretty good fight. Who you got?
I want to see Devin Haney win. But I only want to see Devin Haney win because I want to see Tank knock Devin Haney ass out. Because now Floyd done hopped on Devin Haney nuts. And he's speaking highly of Devin Haney because Tank decided he wants no more Mayweather promotions, right? I don't think Devin Haney can do nothing with Tank. And Kambosa's not going to be a walk in the park.
Absolutely.
Like, he's not going to just go in there and do what he want to do with him. I got Devin Haney winning the fight.
I got him
winning the fight. But, and I want to see Tank. Because they say, they was holding Tank back. Tank won't fight who. he should be fighting. So now boxing is kind of putting everybody together where they like, all right, enough is enough. Y'all gonna fight. They even forcing fights.
Yeah, they are forcing fights because ESPN reported today that Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is in negotiations to fight. So
I can't wait.
You know that. Excuse me. That is gonna be fun. I'm excited about the idea of the fight, let alone the fight being finalized. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to Haney and Kambosos. Number one, Kambosos laid the smack down to Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez is a tough fighter, and the way he beat the shit out of Vasily Lomachenko to become champion, I feel like that was just a tough fight, and it should have been a rematch. But from what I'm saying, Teofimo got beat so bad he don't even want to fight him again. You know, he like, I'm gonna go to another division. Makes no sense, but whatever. Devin Haney got to win tonight.
He got to win.
And Tank already said, if you win, I want you. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I want to see.
I would love to see that fighter as well. I mean, I think Devin Haney still got some growing to do from a persona perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't a pay-per-view draw like that.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
But for
Tank is the
fans,
biggest draw in the division.
Right. And for boxing fans, it's a fight that you want to see. And so I can't see Haney not taking it based on the amount of money he can make from it, and also based on what it can do for his career if he wins. You know?
Right.
But you never know. You know, it's not easy to just get in the ring with a haymaker and think that everything is just going to be fine.
I saw Keyshawn Davis post that his next fight going to be for a belt.
Well, he in line for he should be. He should be fighting for a belt at this point, especially the way they moved Shakur Stevenson up the ladder. I don't see why not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's winning fights convincingly. He not just like going to the scorecards and doing nothing. He beating people up. And he's beating them. So, you know, I would love to see that. I don't know whether it's deserved. I mean, he went to the Olympics. He should have won gold, and he ended up winning silver.
Right.
You know, and no matter what, 9 times out of 10, if you're an Olympic medalist, you're going to become a champion at some point.
You should.
So, more news. September 17th is stamped in stone for the third Canelo and Triple G fight. Canelo Alvarez, Triple G agreed to a third fight. I don't understand why, but I guess Canelo need some form of redemption, and Triple G needs some form of redemption, because Triple G, like, I tied him once and lost it. I can't do that again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all the blemishes on Triple G record came from Canelo. And then Canelo, he just took a L, even though he went further than he should have. You know what I'm saying? It's still one of those things where he still needs some type of redemption. Plus, Triple G got a belt, and he probably still won't to take from Triple G. So, oh no, either way, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready to tune in. But coming up, we're gonna work with overrated, underrated, and then we got the Guru's pick of the day. BetMoorSports, we'll be back. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm the host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
You better believe we are back with one of the newest segments of the show, and that's pretty much where we are going to put in order the players in which we link together, if that makes sense. So the first order that we're going to speak in regards to are running backs from the University of Miami, and we want to first start with my main man, Edgerrin James. Next up, we got Clinton Portis. And then we got Frank Gore. Guru, give your first, second, and third.
We judging on the NFL career, right?
Yep.
Edge, Frank, Clinton.
Okay, so you got Edgerrin James, Frank Gore, and then Clinton Portis. I actually got it a little different. I got Frank Gore, Edgerrin James, Clinton Portis. I do feel like Frank Gore had a better NFL career than Edgerrin James, but that's, personally. I don't know whether you noticed or not, but every picture that I showed, you was able to see that they was running over or running past a player from Florida State.
Yeah, I kind of peeped that. Except Edge. Edge was getting stuck.
Yeah. It took two, though. It took two.
Yeah.
Next up, we got quarterbacks. Overall.
Hold on. Before we go to that.
Okay.
You had Frank Gore with a better career than Adrian James?
Yeah.
Because he third all time.
I mean, what else will define his career? What does Edgerrin James have that exceeds that in his career?
A gold jacket on the first ballot, a Super Bowl ring.
Okay, Frank Gore just retired.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying. I just wanted some clarity.
We know.
I'm not. It's not an argument.
Right. I
just wanted to hear why.
Yeah,
Because I know you kind of biased towards Niners at times, so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't really based upon the fact that Frank Gore was retiring a 49er.
Not at all. Solely statistical. Because, when you compare players like that, it's based on individual statistics.
Right.
We got quarterbacks. And one of the quarterbacks we're going to start with is going to be Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, and the currently installed GOAT, Tom Brady. What's your order?
Brady, Manning, Joe.
Okay. I mean, I disagree again. I got Brady, of course.
It's a Niner.
Joe Montana, and then Peyton Manning. And I mean, it's not saying that Joe Montana's better than Peyton.
You just basing it upon rings. You got to be. It can't be skill set.
So when the skill sets are so
they're not similar.
Not similar, but as far as the value of them as players to their team, they're all close in that value. So you gotta have a tiebreaker in a sense, and rings generally break ties.
I mean, if I was judging by rings, I would have definitely put Joe over Peyton Manning because I felt like Peyton Manning wasn't a winner.
You feel like Peyton Manning was more valuable to his team than Joe?
I felt like Peyton Manning was a better overall quarterback than Joe Montana.
From a skills perspective.
Right.
If that's the case, Peyton Manning a better overall quarterback than Tom Brady too?
I don't think so.
From a skills perspective.
That's just based upon my opinion.
Right.
I don't think so
I
because
feel like Tom Brady is a system guy. Tom Brady left New England and pretty much brought New England system to Tampa Bay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see where you're going with that.
So I just feel like when it comes down to the actual skill set, putting velocity on passes and reading defenses and changing plays at the line, and that's Peyton Manning all day.
Yeah, he sounded good at the line of scrimmage.
But
sounded kind of like Eli. Why wouldn't you put Eli in this category?
Right. Eli. I'm sorry. Oh man. We don't even know if Eli a Hall of Famer.
We don't know if Brady a Hall of Famer. He ain't one yet.
Brady a Hall of Famer right now.
Know, that was just something to get you riled up. Don't pull the guns out on the guru, man. I was just joking.
All right, so I got again, just in case y'all didn't hear me, I said Tom Brady first, Joe Montana 2, and Peyton Manning 3. And then we want to go to something that's close to the home. NFL players from Virginia. In our top 3 that we want to put in order are going to be the mighty, mighty Bruce. Following up with one of the GOATs, Lawrence Taylor.
Ugly as shit right there.
Boy. And the dog fighter himself, Michael Avicchio.
Why you have to introduce my man as the dog fighter, man?
Hey,
my man put that behind him, man.
Hey, listen, you can put it behind you all day, but you're known for what you're known for. If you're going to be known as a great quarterback, you can also be known as a damn dog fighter. I ain't had no problem with it, to each his own. Who you got?
The people gonna be on your head, boy, but you ain't had no problem with it.
Listen, they can't think for me. I can think for myself, though.
You know, Peter right across the street from the BetMoorSports podcast studio. Now people gonna throw paint.
Listen,
on your
come
car.
on, and I'm gonna press charges.
That sound about right. Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
Bruce Smith.
Okay.
Michael Vick.
That's not bad, but again, I said a little different. Believe it or not, I got Michael Vick first.
Impossible.
I got Lawrence Taylor, and then I got Bruce Smith. And I got my reasoning for it. You know, number one, the position Michael Vick played is the most important position on the field.
Correct.
When Michael Vick came into the league, he changed the entire trajectory of the game.
To a degree.
And I feel like while he didn't win anything substantially,
nothing at all,
his skill set was far different than anybody else's. He was on a planet by himself at the time in which he came in the league.
But Lawrence Taylor is arguably the greatest outside linebacker in the history of the NFL.
Absolutely.
And Bruce Smith is one of arguably the greatest defensive ends in NFL history. And Michael Vick is not arguably the greatest at nothing.
He's arguably the greatest running quarterback.
But no, because now Lamar done surpassed him.
Lamar surpassed him. But, I mean, if let's say you did what like sports shows like ESPN do, where you say the greatest running quarterback with 1,000 or more throws, then Lamar wouldn't be in that conversation because Lamar threw the ball far less than Vick did. He ran far more than Vick did.
I'm not going to stamp that as true. However, Vick was great, you know, and I'm going to say this. Virginia put out a lot of great athletes.
Absolutely.
In a lot of different sports. And we're going to do a show, like, for real, that's going to let you know how impactful the state of Virginia has been
yep.
in the history of sports. Not just really the state of Virginia, but the 757 alone arguably can hold its own with any state in the country as far as impact in sports.
I don't disagree.
But that was a pretty good top 3. I think LT is the GOAT, one of the GOATs at linebacker.
He definitely, and especially at his position, he's probably the best linebacker ever to play the game.
I would agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some people got him as his best football player, period.
He's one of mine.
You know? But for me, I feel like Vick brought a level of excitement to the game.
Now, based upon excitement, yeah, Vick would be number 1. But LT was exciting too.
LT wasn't exciting.
Bruce wasn't exciting.
Bruce was Bruce.
Yeah, he played the game how it was supposed to be played.
Right.
Bruce was more of a blue-collar worker.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting that. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's definitely a good way of putting that. So, but I mean, you know.
But you know what I really want to do? I want to hear from the people who watch the show and see how they rank these players 1 through 3.
Hey, comment when you watch this. Comment and give your order of best to worst for each of those players. And keep in mind, just in case you don't know, we did quarterbacks with Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Joe Montana. We did Virginia NFL players with Michael Vick, Bruce Smith, and Lawrence Taylor. And we did running backs from the University of Miami to include Frank Gore, Edgerrin James, and Clinton Portis. Tell us what you got. And guess what? You never know. We might be giving away something nice. So tune in and, it might be a drawing and your name could be in it as long as you post. So post, comment, like, subscribe, do everything. And before we proceed to the Guru's pick of the day, we definitely want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, which is Park Ave Merch. You can definitely go to www.parkavmerch.com to take a look at the different types of merch they got. As you can see, my man Guru is rocking the
I got this green and gold. Behold, I don't really want to say behold the green and gold right now because they got a lot of allegations going on in the football program, man. The boys is dry humping each other over there, and they forcing each other to see each other's genitals, and they filling people's balls, and the coaches are I don't know what the hell is going on at Norfolk State University, but so I ain't gonna say behold the green and gold, but this is official Norfolk State colors.
Okay, all right. Well,
you ain't see that?
No, I had no clue.
Man, they had this the second case. The first people put a case up, and the people brought a second case, and the people say that the coach is allowing the people to damn near rape the underclassmen.
Bro, I know that they ain't pulling out no Penn State type ish.
Man, the Sandusky all over again, man.
Man, that ain't what we do, Norfolk State. Come on, man. Let's get this together. Like, if you take a look at this Park Ave outfit he got on, he got the hat and the sweatshirt, and he rocking it in Norfolk State colors.
Because Norfolk State is on Park Ave. Yeah, but I ain't with none of the I ain't with none of the dry humping and grabbing people's balls and none of that. I don't know what's going on at Norfolk State, man.
Man,
but you need to tighten up.
That is deep.
In more ways than one.
Together. Oof. But hey,
I can't believe you ain't see that, man.
No, I ain't.
I would have made an example. The first chance somebody would have asked to see anything, I'm gonna set an example.
We would have had that conversation a long time ago if I would have seen that. That's for sure.
No, it was just it just came out like a couple days ago. The new allegations.
For real?
Yeah, like maybe yesterday.
Oh wow, I ain't know that. That's crazy. That is deep. I need to look into that. We're gonna talk about that next show. That's for sure. But don't forget, man, hey, check it out, www.parkavmerch.com. Get your Park Ave attire, apparel, all of it. It's legit.
Legit, official.
Park Ave, baby.
It's official, man.
Straight
up.
What
I mean?
And check out the link in the bio. We'll have it there if you need to click it if you don't want to remember. Whatever. I'll put it there. Anyway, let's take a break, and when we come back, we got the Guru's pick of the day.
Don't want to miss it.
BetMoorSports. And now it is time for the Guru's pick of the day.
The Guru's pick of the day is tomorrow, Golden State -4 against the Boston Celtics. Take everything you can beg, borrow, and steal and put it on the Golden State Warriors to not only tie the series, but to cover the spread. They land 4, jump on it. They're going to cover the 4. Take everything you can beg, borrow, and steal and put it on the Golden State Warriors.
And that's the Guru's pick of the day. You better believe it. Listen, if it's one thing that you ain't learned up to this point, we are on episode 12. And the Guru has given 12 episodes of freedom. So I suggest y'all start tuning in and taking in what he's giving, because at the end of the day, it's your money. But it could be our money.
It's going to be our money and your money, because we're going to bet it regardless.
Absolutely.
But this what I want you to do. When you bet the pick of the day, make sure that you subscribe. You comment that the guru was right again. That's all I ask. I don't need no money. I don't need nothing in return. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment.
And that's free.
That's absolutely free. Just like the guru pick of the day is free.
And if you a sports bettor, feel free to go to www.betmoorsports.com and subscribe to our handicap packages.
And you can get all the guru's picks of the day. I was undefeated yesterday.
Undefeated.
Not one loss in hockey or Major League Baseball.
And that's nothing but money.
And I only had 2 wrong the whole NBA conference finals.
Well,
Every game.
I'm there, so I suggest you get there.
Oh,
too.
you up big. You just took the whole family to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't even send the guru a postcard.
Yeah, they ain't get no option to send it from the sea.
Should have put mine in the bottle and did it like the old days.
Hey, from the looks of being out there on that ship when there's nothing there, that bottle will never get to you. Because if that bottle got to you, I'll tell you one thing. I'm writing a story about that one. Hey, man, but with that said, hey, I just want to take the time to say thank y'all for tuning in to our 12th episode of the Bet More Sports Podcast. Don't forget, hit us up on YouTube. Make sure that you enter those comments in there. Give us your order.
And subscribe.
The top players and subscribe. Subscribing is extremely important because it helps us keep the lights on and it helps us keep bringing this content over and over again.
And that allows the guru to give you a free pick of the day.
Every time.
So all we ask is you to subscribe.
One thing we do is we consistent with the guru's pick of the day from day one.
Absolutely.
So just hold us down in return.
Once again, I want to thank Park Ave merch, man. Park Ave clothing. For this dope sweatshirt, man.
Dope.
The hat.
Park
And just
Ave.
coming through and blessing us, man, and being a Bet More Sports Podcast sponsor.
Hey, I need one of them sweatshirts. 4X. Let me get
4X.
one of them sweatshirts, man. They dope.
Yeah.
I like them. Straight up. Represent to the fullest. And again, don't forget www.parkavemerch.com. Of course, at the end of the video, you're going to see, you can also see a link inside the bio. So please feel free to jump in there and whatever you need. In the meantime, hey, again, thanks for tuning in. Bet More Sports, we out. Peace.
Till next time.